Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dungeon Scrawlers. My name is Travis Legge, and I have the honor and pleasure of being the guest story guide tonight as we're getting ready to play a little Curseborne from Onyx Publishing. Uh, Before we get into that, let's go ahead and meet our cast. If you would please, in no particular order, Cora, please tell us who you are, what you do, your pronouns, and anything that you would care to promote.
Okay. Hello, my name is Cora. I am a writer. I do some game design. I do some streaming. Pronouns are she, her. I don't have anything to promote at the moment. And I feel like there was another question I missed. What was it?
That was, I think that was it. I think that covered
Okay, that was the whole list. Great. Okay.
Ah!
Excellent. Good job. Next up, Allie, if you could please give us who you are, what you do, your pronouns, and anything you care to promote.
Hi there. I'm Alexandra Pitchford, or Allie for short. I'm an author, game designer, TTRPG streamer, and my pronouns are she, her. Aside from that, I'm just excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you here as well. I'm excited to be here, a guest in your home. I appreciate it. Next up, that brings us over to Lex. Please, if you would, give us your pertinent details.
Hi, I'm Lex. You can find me on the internet at LexArts. My card has all of my links. That's LexArts with 2 X's. I illustrate. I play games. My pronouns. She, they.
Thank you much. Appreciate
Just
it.
excited.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. And last but not least, Aaron, your pertinence, please.
Hi, I'm Erin Evans. I'm the author of the Brimstone Angels saga and the Books the Usurper series. I'm one of the founding members of the Dungeon Scrawlers channel and one of the hosts of Writing About Dragons and Shit, a podcast about writing length. My pronouns are she, her, and this is the first time I'm playing the Story Path system. I'm very excited.
We are excited to have you. I will do my best to keep my fangirling to a minimum.
No. You can fangirl all you want, especially if it means that my rolls get better. Then it's very encouraged.
Absolutely. I am completely bribable and have just no actual ethics as a story guide whatsoever. So that'll work out just fine for us, I think. So on that bright, shiny note, let's go ahead and get to character creation. We are playing in Curseborne. Those of you who may not be aware of it, Curseborne is a modern horror and urban fantasy game from Onyx Publishing that uses the StoryPath Ultra system. It is sort of the modern refinement of the StoryPath system that was originally introduced with Scion 2nd Edition and Trinity. And now Onyx Path is turning its attention back to its horror roots with the world of Curseborne. Curseborne is a world that is kind of like the world of our own, but it sucks harder. Everything and everyone is cursed to some degree or another, and the accursed, the player characters, are cursed to the point where they suffer a damnation. It grants them power, but it comes at a price. The accursed are organized into lineages, the sort of gross or grand groups that they belong to, and then families, which are sort of subgroups within those lineages. For the accursed, life can be a matter of chasing after your family's wants, a matter of rebelling against your family's desires, or a matter of just simply trying to survive while all these other people are picking at you, trying to get you to do their bidding or follow their agendas. Family can be a wonderful comfort, but it can also be a terrible, terrible burden, as our accursed will probably discover this very night. So let's dive into it. There is a full fleshed out character creation set of rules in the Curseborne core rule book. But in the interest of time and in the interest of showing off a new system, we are going to be using the template character creation that is presented in the Curseborne Player's Guide. Curseborne Player's Guide is currently crowdfunding on Kickstarter at the time of this recording and broadcast. It is fully funded, and we're unlocking stretch goals. So please consider heading over to Kickstarter and supporting the Curseborne Player's Guide. The template character creation rules that are provided in that book basically give you a chance to sort of zip through your choices, speed along the process, and get a character up and running relatively quickly. So, that said, has everyone on the call had the opportunity to review the template process and at least get some basic ideas of where we would like to go, of direction you want to head?
I have
I've got some ideas.
Decent ideas.
Skimmed is good. So the first step that is laid out is the archetype. Archetypes are like a shorthand to describe the type of character you want to play. It'll help determine your lineage and your family path, but it also helps determine your character's kind of basic personality. Now, these archetypes are deliberately broad, one might say. There's a definite feel to them, but there's a lot of room under the umbrella of the concept, if that makes sense. So the archetypes that are available, you have the Blazing Icon, which is a leader of people, both mortal and accursed. You excel at charm and building a cult of personality around yourself. There is the Chess Master. Moving people across a board only you can see allows you to get things done through mixtures of wealth, magic, social power, and even technology. You're always one step ahead of the opposition. So sort of a manipulative type. The Deadeye is a killer, not a fighter. You don't believe in a fair engagement. You strike from a distance and take out your target with efficiency. You might even have a magical weapon to help you in your mission of eradication. There's the Eldritch Scholar. The Arcane is your bread and butter. You focus on acquiring mystical power and have managed to obtain a potent relic that grants you access to more magical potential than most young accursed. There's the Ghost Runner. You're a child of the city. You know the sound of the urban scene by heart, and you go anywhere and can get anything. An athlete, a thief, a scavenger of the urban occult. There's the Juggernaut. Life is a battle, and you plan to win it. Your fists have scar tissue, and your will is iron. You will fight, and you will win. There's the Velvet Knife. You have a sharp wit and an even sharper tongue. You don't fight with knives and guns, but instead your words, which you use to bring your enemies to their knees. In a world of kill or be killed, you are the one standing above it all, pulling the strings and watching the cards fall just where you want them. And the last archetype is the Wild Stalker. You aren't feral, but you are a creature of the deep woods, rural backroads, swamps, blasted tundra. You prefer these to the comfortable mundanity of city living and have the skills to persevere there. Tell me, Aaron.
Yes.
Do any of those archetypes speak to you? Is there an archetype you had in mind?
Oh, there's a couple, theoretically. So I know I want to play an outcast.
Excellent.
And I have a concept that sort of fits in a couple different boxes. I like the idea. There are in Egyptian books of the dead, there are personifications of underworld gates. So I would like to be the descendant of an underworld gate that got exiled for letting people through that she shouldn't.
Wonderful. That sounds
and
awesome.
I feel like that could go. Thank you. That could go a couple ways. I kind of like the idea of being like, well, screw you. If you're going to be really rigid about the rules, I'm going to find my way around the rules. And going with the hidden crossroads. So if I work backwards that way, the Chess Master and the Blazing Icon kind of both fit into that. But I also love playing a high charisma kind of character. And so you described the Velvet Knife, and I'm like, that's interesting.
That is interesting. The Blazing Icon would also fit under like a charismatic type.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really
so
matter of
maybe
which.
I'll try that. Like that seems like it could be interesting. Kind of a combo of like bending, kind of finding making a system within the system, but also like maybe still a little bit like, yeah, but I was a goddess, or I should have been.
Sure.
Minor demon, goddess, whatever.
So what I would recommend that you do then, Aaron, since you have settled on Blazing Icon and you do want to go Outcast League of the Hidden Crossroads, you will see there are some things there that you can place into your sheet right away.
Okay.
A thing to note, as you are filling out your sheet, you'll see that the attributes all have the first dot filled in, nothing else does. So as you're improving those, you get the first dot in the attributes for free. Everything else, you do not get the first dot free.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah. Oh, right. Story path, everyone can make an attempt at a roll, but your odds are just very much less if you're not good at it.
Yes, the system is skill forward. So I will do my best to remember when I am calling for a roll from you. I will ask for the skill first and then the attribute. I may say, let's do this skill. What attribute do you feel is best for the situation? I may throw that to you, or I may have a more prescriptive roll. It just kind of depends on the circumstances. Also, probably a good point to note that my principal concern is having fun and telling a good story. Every once in a while, that means that Travis forgets and or makes up a rule. So don't. If you're playing Curseborne with your friends 6 weeks from now, don't go pointing back to this actual plan. Say, Travis said, "Say about what the book says," or at least if you're going to change the rules, don't blame me for it.
Your mileage may vary.
Exactly. That said, though, I'm going to do my absolute best to stick to the book for tonight and next session's duration. Lex, save me. Do you have a
I'm torn between two archetypes, and it's
Okay.
funny because it's the chess master and the velvet knife as well.
Oh my god.
Nice.
So
Nice.
cool!
They are. They really are.
It's just like the planning.
The planning is good.
Leaning more towards the chess master for that angle alone.
Okay, if that is the angle that appeals to you the most, I would say you can certainly go that route. Now, would you like to select your lineage and family, or do you want to leave it to chance? There is each one of these sort of steps has a table you can roll on.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the character I have in mind, I imagine as being primal lineage 8 hands family, but that's not one of the options on the table. So it's like,
That's totally fine. We can swap that out.
Okay.
We will need to do a little bit of work on it. What I would suggest maybe doing is we do have an 8 hands, I believe.
down in the, I think, Ghost Runner.
Yes, down in the Ghost Runner. So what I would do is I would take the attribute and skill spread that are listed under the chess master for the hide.
Mm-hmm.
I would consider swapping out maybe science.
I would like to swap science, if it's all right, for technology, actually.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
If you don't, may I trade athletics for artistry?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, if you want to swap out those skills, that would be fine. And then I would definitely use the rest of the build that's listed under the
hides, yeah.
Yeah, or no, under the
sorry. Yeah.
Yep, when you get into motif, spells, lineage, torment, edges. The other thing that you're going to want to look
Sense.
at, what's that?
Because that will make more sense for the
Right, that'll be the actual things that come along with that family. I would recommend when you're looking at those powers, just double check and make sure you're not missing any skills that they indicate specifically. And so if you need to swap out a little bit more, do a little bit more tweaking of those skills, you can do so.
Okay.
But yeah, all of these templates, if you want to do a little bit of customization on the fly, nothing's going to break. It's easy to do. Excellent. Thank you so much, Lex. Then let's swing around to Cora. What do you have in mind? Is there an archetype that reaches out to you?
So I was conceptualizing like as a kind of vibe for the character, very much leaning into like the kind of Appalachian woods in the morning when like it's really foggy and misty. So like I was just like, I just want to make that like a character.
Okay.
So kind of looks like that's going to lean into, I think it was Wildstalker.
Wildstalker seems about right, yeah.
Just a strong vibe too. I love that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Do you want to, is there a particular lineage family combination that you want to lean on, or do you want to let fate decide?
I was trying to figure out like which one's going to best fit. It looked like Keepers of the Vine might be a good
Keepers of the
like
Broken
right on
Vine
the nose there.
would be good. I think Raptors would also be a good call.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But that said, though, having a couple of outcasts certainly is fun. Especially a couple of outcasts with
Very different vibes.
very different perspectives.
Very different vibes, very different perspectives.
So I leave that up to you entirely. If you want to go with Keepers of the Broken Vine, that's totally cool by me.
Let me think. Because we've got the Keepers, Raptors. The Raptors, I know they're primals. I know they're one of the... What critters? What's their creature like lean into? I can't remember.
They're specifically like the, I guess, stereotypical raptor, for lack of a better term, would be like reptilian. But it really can be anything that is like highly predatory.
The text talks about the feathered serpent, which I think is very cool.
Yeah. So
Ooh,
you're not
okay.
you're not even like limited to existing like to real world creatures, if that makes sense, right?
It does. It's very difficult to decide between those two. Because like I like the idea of like, because the Keepers Keepers of the Broken Vine, they're very like green witch type vibes.
Okay, yeah.
But then being a winged serpent thing could be really fun. I think I'll go with Keepers though.
You go with Keepers? Okay.
Just because of that liminal vibe that they've got, like that ability to shift the forms really, I think fits like the Appalachian Mists thing in my head.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. You could easily be Mothman.
Yeah. Any number of things.
And then steal people's catalytic converter. On that note, Allie.
Yeah. Well, I have a very specific one that I'm looking at. I liked the idea of the velvet knife. That's the one I was eyeballing. Specifically, I wanted to play an heir.
Okay, excellent. I think that's perfect. The heirs are a family of the hungry that are very upper crust, hoity-toity, one might say, well-to-do.
Yes.
That's one way of looking at it. Other people
very
might say
composed. Yeah, very composed business vampire.
Exactly. Yeah. Other people might be like, might say things like stuck up or high on their own supply, think they're better than everyone. Those can all be elements of the heirs. Not that anyone is painted into a particular corner when they choose. You can certainly go against type. So yeah, I think that's perfect. So I would recommend that everybody go ahead and write down the traits that are provided by your archetype. Does anyone have any questions about any of those traits so far? While we are putting dots in places and copying things over things. I'm gonna pick your brain to do a little bit of an improv game, if you don't mind.
I love improv. I'm bad at it, but I love it.
Wonderful. Why don't you then give me a name for an elderly member of one of your families?
Ooh. Like one of the players' families, or
Yeah, one of your characters' families. Yep.
okay.
Doesn't necessarily even matter which one. I just need an elderly family member.
Let's go with Delilah. And last name should be LeFleur. Why not? That's pretty.
LeFleur?
That's nice. That's nice.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you. All right. Before I sidetrack this completely, playing Give Me Things, Erin, are you still chugging away at getting your template stuff? Your archetype stuff?
I'm pretty close to done. I was just putting in the text of the spells into some comments, but
Glorious. Can you give me the name and a sentence about someone who might have lived in Chicago in 1930?
oh, interesting. Okay. The name that popped in my head when you said elderly family member was Minnie. That's my great grandma's name. It's also B. Dave Walters' great grandma's name, and I love this confluence. So we have. Let's say she's. What's a good last name for her? Diamond, Minnie Diamond. 1930s. So we're talking like mid Great Depression time. She.
I wonder if she was Prohibition era, like.
Are we still in Prohibition? We're still in Prohibition at that point, or we're out of it.
Not really.
She
Prohibition
used to
ended
run.
in, like,
She used to be like a
33,
rum runner. She
Yeah,
used to have like a secret gin joint,
Nice.
and she's an old lady now. She's not nice. She is selling marked up foodstuffs.
Excellent.
Like black market foodstuffs, basically.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you. As we're doing that, has everybody else, please, I guess, once I stop doing one of these, if you're done with your template, stop me and we'll move on to the next step.
I'm done.
Ellie, you're done? Excellent. Anybody else? Is anybody still working on their template, their archetype?
I've written things down. I'm trying to read what they do because
Sure.
I'm like, do I want to swap these for something?
I'll give you a moment to read, and while I give you a moment to read, Ellie, can you give me a person who would have been alive during the 1940s? A name and just a sentence or two about that person.
1940s. Ooh.
Also in Chicago.
Also in Chicago. Okay. I'll go with that's tough. Albert is the name I'll go with. Surname. Albert
Gibbs.
Albert Gibbs. That works. 1940s. So let's say I mean, depending on when in the 1940s, but could be like former Navy man, that kind of guy. Very, very, very proud of his service.
Excellent. Was he in the World War, and if so, what front was he on?
Yeah, I think World War. I think World War European.
Okay, excellent.
And you know what? Drawing from my own family history, let's make him former sub crew. My grandfather was a sub vet, so
Beautiful. Perfect. Thank you.
Terrifying.
I feel like
yeah,
I need to just say neither my great grandmother nor B. Dead Walters was marking up food during the Great Depression. That one's made up. Don't need to be besmirching dead old ladies.
I'm glad we know. And also, you know, you don't want you know, the IRS showing up trying to collect
get it back.
75-year-old taxes. We'll take a breather there to from the improv game to get to the next step in our template character creation. So we've gotten our archetypes, we've chosen our major and minor paths, and we've assigned our traits for that. The next step in the archetype creation is your role path. So the role path basically determines kind of like what you do in your group. This is a place where you're least likely to have overlap, but overlap is still okay. It's not a deal breaker by any stretch. But this is really where you kind of differentiate like your interior group dynamic, if that makes sense, right?
yeah.
If, as you are adding the traits from your role path, the traits that are given to you by the role path maximize or take a trait over what its maximum is, you can then move that to an option that has less dots allocated. Attributes must remain in the same arena. So your arenas are physical, social, and mental. They're the ones that are going vertically on the sheet. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
sweet. Our role options are basically self-explanatory, but I can certainly delve into a little bit more based on the names. We have the academic, the creative, the executive, the fighter, the fixer, the hunter, the journalist, the lawyer, the occultist, and the scientist. Do any of those roles leap out at you, Allie?
Yeah, I was actually looking at the executive.
Wonderful. Excellent. And yeah, that will grant you +1 to intellect, +1 to resolve, +2 to manipulation. And it adds, as far as skills, you get bonus +1 to culture, +2 to enigmas, +2 to leadership, and +2 to persuasion. And grants you the resources to edge. Resources is a measure of wealth at your disposal. As I mentioned before, if something goes above 5, you can move it around. For edges, I think it's 3 is the max. So, you know, if one of your skills would be taken above 5, you can just drop it in any other skill. Preferably one that's part of the same path, but doesn't need to be.
Okay.
How about Cora? Did you find a role path?
None of. So I had a couple that I'm bouncing between. I know I'm so indecisive.
That's okay.
You're
Me too.
missed.
Just
You
because-
can't be too firm about anything, or we'll be going against your nature.
It's a valid point. And I would remind you, you can just roll a d10 and pick.
True. But like I'm thinking I want her to have like some role in conservation.
Okay.
You know, because you know, the Appalachians are all about like those hidden little places out in the green. So I could see potentially doing like an academic. I could see doing a hunter. I could see doing a scientist.
Is there anyone that seems slightly more of interest to you? Academic is obviously leaning on the academic and scientists both are leaning on the knowledge aspects of it, whereas hunter is a bit more the physical, being out in the thick of it kind of vibe, which to me sounds a little bit more like kind of what you're aiming for.
Maybe, yeah, because it's like I kind of like the idea of her leaning into, you know, wanting to educate and expose people to it so that they can, you know, learn and participate in this, but also, you know, wanting to be out there when teaching people instead of, you know, holed up in some little like library or some teaching class. So could kind of see probably either academic or hunter.
You can also flip a coin or roll a die, and you know if it's above a 6, you'll be the 6 or above. You'll be the hunter. That is also an option.
I'm thinking I'll go with the academic. I'm just like an academic who does still like to go out there.
Rock and roll. That works for me. Now go ahead and fill in the appropriate dots. Take a look at your edge or edges and make sure that you have a grasp on what those provide. How about Lex? What do you got for your roll?
Likewise, torn between a couple, and torn between 3. So I'm going to actually roll and try and decide which one. I'm not sure whether to go creative, executive, or occultist, because they all feel really good for this character. So let's see what it throws me. I can't do math.
What'd you get?
4 if I'm spending a D10 in 3.
So it would be 3, 6, 9, and then re-roll a 10.
Cool. Then executive is the one that it landed on.
All right. I love a little bit of fate at play. And then Aaron, had you settled on a roll?
I think I like the fixer. I was looking at the fixer and the lawyer. I kind of like the idea of being like a kind of slightly scummy defense attorney. But I think the sort of like breaking with the system, because the system is broken. Like, let's go all the way. I'm gonna be a fixer.
Perfect. All right. Did anyone need a little bit of time to fill out the stuff from the roll path?
I've got to put mine in there, but we can keep going. It'll only take a couple clicks.
All right, fair enough.
Manipulative.
The next thing that you focus on is the 4th step is your personal torment. This table will determine your character's personal torment. You can choose an option, or you can roll the dice and see what you come up with. So the torments are basically ways that your curse manifests and sort of cuts you at the core, if that makes sense, right? Your torments are temptation that you sometimes will want to give into. They are a way of regaining curse dice, especially if you run out of curse dice at any point. You will succumb to one of your torments. You'll need to fulfill it before you can get more curse dice back. So, it's the unpleasant roommate in your head. It's the part of your personality that you hate to admit you have, or perhaps you revel in. So choose wisely if you're going to choose one. For as the true Grail will bring life, the false Grail that wasn't actually Harrison Ford that said that.
It's Harrison Ford adjacent. It's
yeah, exactly.
Same movie.
Someone said it to Harrison Ford. So
yeah.
These are fairly straightforward, and we can certainly expand on them if you choose one. But do any of those personal torments reach out to you, Aaron? Do any of those look like this is the one I want, or do you want to just roll the dice?
Part of me wants to roll the dice because I haven't rolled the dice yet, but I have to admit the first one feels very in line with the thing I'm thinking of. Like, if you're like, no, you can work your way around any system. Being someone who just like locks in and is like, no, it's this way, feels like a really difficult personality trait / like inherent tendency, perhaps, if you're actually an underworld gate.
For sure,
so I like that one.
Being absolutely about the negotiation right up to the moment whether you are no longer up to the the very like, hard line.
I'm done now. You're going to listen. Yeah.
Right.
I think that could be fun.
That works for me.
Real quick. I'm sorry. I blanked. What did you say we do when we reach the threshold of a skill?
You may spend it in another skill. Ideally, you would move that dot into one of the other skills that part of the template gave you. So, for example, if it's your roll path, you'd move it in another one of your roll skills. But you don't necessarily need to, especially if those skills are already maxed out as well. Does that make sense?
Yes. Gonna drop that in.
And did you have a torment that you particularly found intriguing, Lex, or did you just want to roll on the table? Or
I am probably going to roll because I don't know. I don't know. 2 sounds fun, but let's see. Let's see.
that do sound fun?
10 is withdraw from the world of mortals, knowing you are forever apart. Sure. Sure.
Sure, that
Oh
can,
my.
that it can absolutely work very well. As
But
a matter of fact.
also mood.
For real. Absolutely, no joke there. All right, let's see here. Cora, do you have a personal torment that you would like to lean on, or do you want to roll and see what the dice say?
I'm tempted to roll because I'm bouncing between a few of them. There's like half of them that I'm like, this could be fun. And then there's the other half that I'm like, just this concept. So, because yeah, I could lead into the cryptid thing and like do the follow your loved ones in secret so they remain safe. Just be like the creepy, like peeking around the trees vibe. But also the withdrawing from the mortal world. Right. Withdrawing from the mortal world because Forever Apart also really kind of fits that vibe.
For sure.
So I think I'm just going to roll between those two because I think both of those are like really interesting and just go odds evens.
Sounds great.
And okay, follow loved ones in secret it is.
Oh,
Beautiful.
It's fine.
I like
It's
it.
like a little guardian angel except with
also kind
plants.
of creepy.
Right? The very, very creepy guardian angel with no
It'll be fine.
sense of personal boundaries. Yeah. Love it. How about you, Ellie? You got a personal torment?
Yeah, actually, there were a couple I liked, but I think I decided I did not roll. I decided to go with refuse to acknowledge the authority of someone weaker than myself.
I love it. Perfect. All right. So that is everyone's personal torments. Step 5 on the template character creation is to choose aspirations. Each character has 2 short-term and 1 long-term aspiration.
Oh.
These are things that you would like to try to accomplish. Short-term aspirations are meant to be accomplished within the span of 1 game session. It doesn't necessarily mean they always will be, but that's the type of thing it should be able to be done, right? Whereas a long-term aspiration is much more of a story arc goal. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you have a general table, and then you also have a short-term aspiration table by lineage. So it recommends you roll on both of those, but you can also choose. That's fine. And then there's the general long-term aspirations table that you can select from as well. So, Allie, are you going to roll or are you going to dig through them for a moment?
I actually dug through.
Okay.
And so from the hungry table, I went with indulge my family hunger.
Okay, excellent.
Which is delightful. And then
yes, the heirs, correct me if I'm wrong, the heirs aren't heart eaters, right?
They are the heart eaters, yes.
They're the heart eaters, okay.
They literally eat human hearts. And then I took from the general, let someone see the real me.
Nice. I like it. And then did you select the long term?
I did. Defeat my rival, which seems appropriate.
Perfect. Well, in that case, then, since you got your homework done early, why don't you give me the name of a unhoused person who might have been found in the streets of Chicago in the 20s?
Ooh, in the 20s. Okay. Names are always hard for me, so this is going to be the first name that popped in my head was Gregory.
Excellent.
Gregory Smythe.
Wonderful. And how did Gregory Smythe wind up unhoused?
I mean, it's the 20s. Like, are we talking like Great Depression? So, you know, he could easily like Great Depression. He lost. You know, he lost everything.
Lost everything on Black Monday.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you. Cora, have you selected your aspirations?
I have. So I took 2 of them off of the Outcast chart.
Okay.
The claim a space as my own,
Wonderful.
and then sabotage a belonging or space I don't trust.
Wonderful. Okay.
And then for the long term, I picked build something beautiful.
Build something beautiful. Awesome.
That feels fitting.
It feels very fitting. I dig it. I dig it quite a bit. Cora, if you could have any person show up in this game who might have been at the Chicago World's Fair in the 1920s, who would you have show up? Could be anything from a famous celebrity to, someone who sold peanuts, at the White City gateway.
I don't know enough about the World Fair.
All I know is there's that serial killer guy.
There was that.
You know what? Let's go with that guy.
H.H. Holmes, wonderful.
Let's just make this a trash fire. It'll be fine.
We're allowed to.
That's actually who popped into my head. I mean, he died a few decades before the 1920s, but to hell with it.
1880. Yeah. Well, there was
96.
Yeah.
What's the Devil in the White City? Isn't that from the Chicago World's Fair?
Yes, but there was the White City World's Fair, and I got my dates mixed up. There was the White City World Fair in the late 1800s, and then there was the Chicago World's Fair in the 1920s. So it had 2 of them there.
Okay.
It could be a different serial killer.
Could be a different.
I mean, we're dealing with liminalities. Time is.
That's also true.
Time doesn't matter.
It didn't die. That's through time and space.
That is also true. Yeah, things could get weird. So, Lex, have you selected your aspirations?
Mm-hmm. I went and rolled for all 3 of them.
Beautiful.
The first 2 from the primal list, and threaten somebody without speaking, and then hunt something.
What was the second one? I'm sorry.
Hunt something.
Hunt something makes sense.
And then my long-term one wound up being build something beautiful.
Excellent. A shared long-term aspiration is beautiful. Do you have what is the let's say you're imagining a person who came to the city from downstate Illinois, a very small farming town. What would draw them to Chicago in 1931? What's the name?
They went to the city looking for work.
Okay.
We'll go with Hoagie. I can't think of the last name.
That's right. Anybody else got a last name on deck?
The only one that popped in my head was that works.
What was it?
Callahan.
Callahan.
That sounds appropriate. All right. Perfect. And then Aaron, your aspirations.
I rolled for all of them, and I love them. Tell a lie, slip the mask, and so I picked one from the general, one from the outcast, and then the long-term one, prevent a tragedy.
Beautiful.
Okay.
It's great. Excellent. All right. Our next step is our contacts. One of the things that is important in the story path system, especially so in Curseborne, is your contacts. Contacts can provide you with information. Contacts can provide you with magic. Contacts can save your life. Contacts can also ask you for things, complicate your existence, become used as pawns by your enemies. There are upshots and downshots to knowing folk. So each of you, please visit your appropriate archetypes table and either select or roll for a contact.
I got pyrotechnics supplier. I don't know how that fits.
Okay.
Explosives are always a good thing.
So yeah, you know somebody that this could now. Here's how contacts can be very interesting, right? So it could be like you went to high school with a dude that wound up becoming very enamored with explosives. Alternatively, you might just be friends with a guy that used to work at the corner store and now has gotten a new job at the fireworks place up the road. So you can sort of tweak that anywhere along the spectrum.
I like the combo of Blazing Icon and Fixer is like you high level problem solving, and so maybe I've come to this person repeatedly to solve pyrotechnics related problems. You'd be surprised how many things you can fix with fireworks. I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I will honor the role. That is my contact.
And that is from your architect, correct?
Yes. Was there another one?
Yes. You also get to choose one from your lineage.
Oh. All right. Cool. That's mine.
How about you, Lex? Have you checked your contacts out?
I did one. So I rolled and got lawyer with the tags tags or traits?
Tags. So go ahead. What were the tags?
The ones listed on the table were investigator.
Okay.
And
so just to give you an idea real quick, just interject for a moment, tags are basically the things that your contacts are best at. So you can always go to them for stuff, you can go to them for a shoulder to cry on, or maybe company on a lonely night. But if they don't have the tags for that, it's not necessarily helpful. But whereas if they have the tags, you can start to mechanically leverage them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Continue, please. What was your other contact?
The other one was close family, which has the tags mentor and supernatural.
Wonderful. And then Cora, did you settle out your contacts?
I rolled for mine. So for my, is it out? For whatever the first chart is, the Wild Stalker one. There we go. I figured that out. I got the Witch, which has the Archive and Supernatural.
Awesome.
Witchy buddies. Then from Outcast, I got a Defector from Decadence, which I have no idea what Decadence is in this context, but Dangerous and Sneaky for their tags.
Okay.
And then I just rolled on the last one, and I got the Dangerous Contact tag. I'm probably going to go with the Underground Fighter.
Okay.
That's just it's that in the Club Bouncer, and I don't really see the Club Bouncer as being the one that she keeps contact with.
Sure. So it could be so is this somebody who's doing underground like off circuit wrestling type stuff, or like backyard pit fights, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, beautiful. I love it.
Somebody who's not worried about the legality of causing problems.
Wonderful. And then, Allie, what did you wind up with?
All right. I rolled, and I got client for the one for Velvet Knife, which has was it influential and money for the tags. And then for the hungry, I got body disposal expert.
Come in handy. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing you might
given
need.
what they eat. So
And forgive me, I'm a terrible human being, and I did miss that you also get roll path contact. These are just, you selected off your roll path. There's 2. It's a 1 to 5 is the first, 6 to 10 is the second. That is the last one that Cora was talking about, but I think everybody else might have missed their roll path contact. So, go ahead and set that up. And then after we get those knocked out, you have your name. And there are names provided if you just want to roll some names.
Do you need any others? I got so giddy about the pyrotechnics guide that I hadn't told you the other ones.
I'm sorry. I
That's
blew
okay.
right past
Did you need
like
to know them, or are you just
terrible human being?
make sure?
Please.
I also rolled close family, and then I rolled gossip blogger with the informant tag, and I love it.
Love it. Perfect. What did you wind up with for your roll, Lex? Roll contact?
Oh, a dock worker. That is a fence.
Nice. And then, Allie, what did you wind up with for your roll contact?
Let's see. Reluctant X. Wonderful.
That's among my favorite things. Okay. Then, all that's left are names. You're welcome to choose names. You're welcome to roll for names. It is up to you. But what I recommend we do, if you all don't mind, is we take a quick break for our biological and technological needs, and we come back in about 5 minutes, our time. We through the magic of post-production, we will return immediately for the viewers and dive into our story. We still have a little bit of time. Yes, get a little bit of play in today.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Thank you so much for hanging out with us in the liminal space in which we took our break. We have returned, and we are ready to dive into our tale. Real quick, just going to have everybody give us the quick breakdown of your character. We'll kick it off with Allie. If you would, please tell us who you're playing, your name, your lineage, and your family.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to be playing Evelyn Ash. She's one of the hungry, and specifically, she's an heir.
Beautiful. Thank you. Cora.
I'm going to be playing Charlotte Mercer. She is an outcast. She is a keeper of the Broken Vine and a little bit of an academic nerd who's very conservation motivated.
Beautiful. Lex, what did you settle on?
I am playing Johann Stratenari, the primal of the 8 Hands, who is an executive of something. We don't ask questions.
Sure enough, got the Barney Stinson going on. Like, never talk about what you do for a living. And Aaron.
I will be playing the personification of an underworld gate, Ceaseless in Retribution, or CC Gates, an outcast who belongs to the League of the Hidden Crossroads.
Wonderful. This group is a crew. Crews are groups of accursed peers who have come together for mutual interest, perhaps survival. Could be bonds of friendship, could be bonds of romance, could be just simply These are the only other accursed in town you can fucking stand. Could be any of those things, sometimes all of them at once. Your crew today is coming together. Evelyn has had the occasion to call on the crew's help this evening, this Wednesday night. Evelyn, you have been asked by a family elder, a woman by the name of Vanessa. According to rumor, she became an heir right around the time that Al Capone was active. She has since built up quite a reputation throughout the greater Chicagoland area as being sort of a ruthless, one might even argue brutal, family enforcer. Vanessa is the one that you go to when you need someone hurt. Vanessa is the one that you go to when you need someone to disappear.
Okay.
Vanessa is the person you go to when all other options have failed. And for some reason that you cannot conjure for the undeath of you, she has called you to get your crew together and be at her estate at 8 p.m. on this Wednesday night.
All right.
So what would you like to do?
Evelyn would certainly put the word out through whatever means the crew has set up for ease of communication. Group chat for the win.
You could hit the group chat, sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it has. I don't know. With this group, it might have a whimsical name. It might not. It might just be like very generic. Just say group chat.
I feel like each of us has a different name for said group chat. We're just like,
Everybody keeps changing it.
Exactly.
What would you send to them?
Well, I will send. Vanessa will send. Not Vanessa. Evelyn, my character, will send a message just going. Looks like I'll need all of your help tonight if you're available. Seems someone of my particular persuasion wants us to, I would guess, help them with a problem. We're supposed to meet them, insert address here, 8 p.m.
Vanessa maintains an apartment in the Congress Hotel. She has asked you to meet her there at the suite that she stays in.
Okay. So
I'm going to type
hotel.
in what kind of food is at this thing.
Oh.
Point of order question.
Sure.
As a personification of an underworld gate, do I just eat normal people food? Like, do outcasts eat normal food, or are they also?
You certainly
Do we
can.
not eat?
You certainly can eat food. You whether or not you require it is entirely up to you.
Got it.
Whether or not you feel the pangs of mortal hunger is up to you.
Okay. I'm gonna type in "feel like dip" tonight.
I'm sure something can be arranged. I'll see what I can do.
I type, "I'm bringing beer. What do you want, Johan?"
my own. Don't worry.
Charlotte, I forget if you have a mouth right now.
I always have a mouth.
Brownie face, sorry.
At least one.
Do you think
I'll bring extra beers.
Often more. Yes.
At least.
pour one out
At
on
least.
At the very least, if I'm not sure what Vanessa's planning to provide, but I'll have someone bring something on the way.
I feel like this is this is a thing that Cece does. Like shows up with like kind of pushes in and be like, I'll help you host, don't worry. Which may not be cool with Vanessa. That is a problem for you to solve though.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
By what means is everyone going to arrive? Are you going to meet at the Congress, or do you plan on meeting somewhere else beforehand and then making your way over there together?
I think Evelyn will just go directly there. She'll have like I'm sure she's got high resources, so I'm sure she has like people to get things for her and drive her places. So she's like had someone go and buy dip and chips just to be safe, which like she has like no interest in whatsoever, but it's there. And
Evelyn the kind of person who's like, this is a dip, that will work. Or is she like, I don't know what these people need. Here are 16 kinds of dip just in case.
I think she's the this is a dip, it's fine. But I think the person she sent was like, she gave me no instructions. I have no idea what to get. She gave me the black card. I'm just going to buy like 8 different dips and like multiple kinds of chips just to go with it, just to cover their bases. But yeah, she's gonna have one of her people drive her there.
Excellent. And how is Cece arriving?
I feel like this is like a nice part of town, yeah?
Yeah, it's a fairly nice part of town. Yeah.
I don't think that Cece lives that far away.
Well,
So I think she's going to walk and sort of like in that way of like, you know, like you're walking almost as a performance, like watch me stride through the city like a person with legs and things
sure.
in really, really nice, expensive shoes.
Very much owning and inhabiting that moment and trying to be as human as you can be while you're walking.
Yes. That also means that I can stop at the corner store I like and buy some beer and exchange pleasantries with the cashier because I belong here.
Of course. And you note, as you're speaking with the cashier, you note the cashier seems to be in a particularly good mood. In fact, the people that are shopping, I mean, there's three or four other people that are in the corner store at the moment, just grabbing various things. Everyone seems to be jovial. It's not unheard of, but it does catch your attention.
Did I miss a big holiday or something?
Are you asking the man behind
The
the counter?
cashier, sorry.
Yeah, sure. He says, no, just, I don't know. Got out of bed today and it felt like things were going my way, I guess. Every once in a while, you have one of those days. Is that all that for you?
Yeah. Do I get a vibe whether this is off? Does this seem like a weird kind of thing, or did I just run into a handful of happy people and that feels weird because the world is the world?
I mean, there's a certain amount of the latter for sure. You do not sense anything. So a cursed can inherently sense magic, other accursed things along those lines. You do not sense anything otherworldly at play. In fact, it's almost as if the sort of interwoven web of curses that provides like background radiation to your senses is muted. If you'd like, do you have Esoterica?
I do.
Why don't you go ahead and give me a Esoterica plus Cunning roll, please? This is just trying to see if something springs off the top of your mind of what might be potential causes.
Can you run me through the dice I roll for this?
Absolutely. So you'll take a number of dice equal to your Esoterica. You will take a number of dice equal to your Cunning. You have one cursed die currently.
I do.
So you will replace one of those dice in your hand with the die of the other color. That'll be your cursed die.
Okay.
So
one of these dice is the cursed die.
Yep.
Okay.
Choose which one is going to be the cursed die, and then
different colors.
you'll go ahead and roll.
It's going to be this one.
Beautiful.
Okay, so 4, 9, 7, 9.
You just need to look for dice that are either the big ones are 8 or above.
Okay.
You want to note any 10s, and if you get any 1s on your cursed dice, those are important. The ones on the other dice are not.
I have 2 big dice, and that's it.
And are either of those the cursed dice?
No.
Wonderful. It occurs to you that sometimes when there's an absence of another cause, something can get sort of like curses exist as, a web is a good metaphor for them. Something can get caught in the web and sort of yank on it and almost like pull the attention or the negativity away from the surroundings as it's wrangling this web. Particularly things that are, hovering in the background, things that are not, active curses, but just sort of the general veneer of shittiness that is over the world can sometimes get a little disjointed if something big and nasty acts up nearby. Does that make sense?
Got it. Yeah. And how close am I to Vanessa's apartment right now?
Couple blocks.
Okay. Okay, so this seems like information I will take to the crew. I'll tell the cashier to keep the change.
Well, thanks.
And
everything's coming up Millhouse.
text the bye Millhouse and text the crew. Change the crew's group chat name to No, I'm not gonna change the name for this. I'm just gonna say, guys, something's pulling on the curse web, and then stick my phone in my pocket.
Wonderful. And now
the group chat name is currently Happy Hour.
Like it.
Beautiful. And was it Charlotte? Is that correct?
Charlotte.
Yes. How's Charlotte getting to the Congress right now?
Well, I imagine that she would have put in the group chat, like, can I, hitch a ride? Can I carpool with someone?
Wonderful.
About as you've texted that, almost too quickly in response. Come outside. There's a car waiting.
Wonderful. And Lex, again, your character's name. I'm doing my best. I will have them. What was it?
For short.
What was it for short? I'm sorry.
It's Johann, but Han for short.
Han, beautiful. I will remember that. Yeah, so Han texts, come on outside.
All right, she'll go on outside.
It's a very nice black sedan waiting for you.
Wonderful. Is Han in that sedan, or did you send a car?
Yep.
Excellent.
Excellent. Carpooling is important.
Gotta protect that environment.
You begin making your way to the Congress. Are you going to gather in the lobby, like wait for each other? Or are you going to head up to Vanessa's one by one?
I'm absolutely waiting. I'm not walking up to one of Evelyn's family members' apartment without her. Some of them are, like, very pushy.
It's fair. Yeah, Evelyn will wait for people in the lobby. Like, she's not going to presume that they'll just walk right up to Vanessa's place. Given what she knows of Vanessa's reputation, that's probably a bad idea. So she's going to wait. She's probably dressed in like some very kind of sharp designer kind of like, business dress kind of look, like very high powered executive appearance to her. Everything on point, the makeup, the manicure, all of it.
Beautiful. You all arrive. Cece probably get there a few moments before Han and Charlotte, but not
do
long.
air kisses.
Of course. Well, good to see you.
Did you see my message?
About the dip.
Yeah, there's no. After that, did it not send? Anyway, the guy on the corner, that store it's a dead zone. They're all very happy. It's just when that much happy is happening, it's got to be because something's going wrong. Is that what this is? Is Vanessa doing it? Because I think we should get paid in advance if we're dealing with that.
I mean, I don't necessarily disagree, but I'm not sure she's the one doing it. If she was, I don't know why she would need us, but
that's a fair point.
It could be related, and it could
mess up your plans.
No, it might be related, but it might also be something completely occurring by happenstance. Certainly something to keep an eye on, though. That doesn't sound normal.
No.
Where would Han be planning on parking? Are you just going to park in the street nearby, or are you going to go for like a parking garage or something like that?
The driver is going to drop us off, and he's going to go.
Perfect. In that case, you're dropped off and make your way in. About this time, the two of you step in the front door.
Yeah, Evelyn just was like, circle the block to her drive.
Very good. So you all gather in the lobby. As you have come together for a purpose salient to your crew, you may all gain a curse die.
Oh.
Well, actually, I know what I'll do. I'm going to put a little box. They're all going in the box.
Is there anything else you would like to do or discuss before you hop in the elevator and make your way up to Vanessa's apartment?
I think Evelyn would be like, just everyone be on their best behavior. Vanessa can be particular.
Particular how?
Is this one your ex?
No, just another member of my extended family.
Be too forward to have brought a hostess gift.
I don't suppose it would. Depends on the gift.
I do hope she enjoys champagne.
I'm not sure she drinks wine. I couldn't resist. Oh, but I'm sure she'll appreciate it all the same. Say that again?
It might prove useful elsewhere.
It might. Also, Cece, your dips are in the bag.
Look in and go, oh, you really went all out. Okay. Drop the. Actually, I would know you well enough to know you sent somebody out with the black card. So I knew there was going to be dip, but I don't trust your taste in beer. I don't really trust anyone's taste in beer. I feel like I have very particular taste in beer.
Yeah, the vampire's taste in beer is probably suspect.
That's fair.
Deeply suspect. Hard
That's
to
fair.
buy the wrong dip, but man. Trust you once, you come back with Coors Light. What am I doing here?
As you're discussing the in and outs of beer and dip, the elevator doors open. You make your way to the end of the hallway, to the penthouse that Vanessa stays in. You know your protocol would be to, simply enter. You're expected.
All right. In that case, yeah, then Evelyn will just walk straight in. Lead the group inside.
As you open the door, the first thing that strikes all of you is you hear dripping, particularly the sound of dripping onto what sounds like plastic. And it's quickly followed by the odor of things that are meant to be on the inside of a person that are now exposed to the outside.
Evelyn just seems unfazed.
I hope she didn't go out of her way for us because I'm not eating that.
You hear from the far corner of the suite, there's like a kitchenette set up in the far end of the room. You hear from that end of the room. One moment, dears. I'm sorry. I just need to. I just need to finish something. You hear like a twisting and like a popping sound. Just need to finish something up real quick. You also hear some muffled whimpering.
Have a seat. Just very casually. as she takes a seat herself.
Evelyn steps out and is wiping her hands with a red cloth. Very clearly wiping a red fluid off of them. She's wearing what looks like a several $1,000 designer dress. Probably if you had to ballpark it, $250,000 worth of jewelry. And a leather apron.
Well, you gotta protect that.
Yeah, absolutely.
She
Didn't
comes
interrupt
in,
dinner.
says, "Oh no, that's work." One of the cousins failed to properly disclose some activities to his mother, and she's asked me to sort him out.
Of course.
But that's not anything to do with why I've called you, of course. So nice to see you all. Cece, Han, Charlotte, yes? Wonderful to make your acquaintance. Is there anything I can get you? Forgive me, I hate to not have anything to offer. I wasn't
don't worry. We didn't want to put you out. Is there like a coffee table or something away from the plastic you can put things down on?
Sure. The room you're in doesn't have any plastic down.
Okay.
Yeah. When you sit, you can clearly see like that the kitchen is completely plasticed up. But the room that you're in is fine. Says, yeah, by all means, sit. Of course. Are you sure I can call
a
room
few
service?
of the dips.
I can call room service and have something brought up if you need.
No, it's fine.
Wonderful. Okay.
Evelyn took care of us.
Good. I'm glad to see that you're not letting your manners slip.
Never.
I am in the middle of things, and I know, of course, your time is valuable, so I will be brief. Delilah LaFleur, the, one might say, matriarch of the heirs of the Midwest, is intending on celebrating an anniversary this weekend. She is particularly enamored with a place locally called the Remington Hotel. Does that ring any bells for any of you?
It does.
Vaguely.
Excellent. She would like to hold this anniversary party there. The hotel is currently out of sorts, unoccupied, but one of my shell companies has recently acquired the property, so legally speaking, we can do whatever we wish with it. However, it's my understanding that there are some bad vibes. The place has a history, you might say.
Any place that old will.
So what I would like you all to do is head over there, assess the place, and make sure it is party ready by this weekend.
Oh. Certainly think we can manage that.
What kind of bad vibes are we talking about?
She smiles. Well, truth be told, I'm not entirely certain. What I do know is that the Remington was at one point the hotel of choice for the upper crust visitors to the city, particularly after this hotel started suffering some reputational damage due to old Alfonso's habits. For a time, the Remington was the spot to go. However, in 1946, investigators discovered that the then owner of the building, a man by the name of Boris Brewster, had been using the hotel as a amusement park of torture and mayhem.
Oh, is that all?
Being preserved.
Indeed. He was a wealthy man. In fact, prior to the discovery of law enforcement, he was known throughout the city for his kindness. He would, despite his being a millionaire at the time, he would visit the poorer parts of the city, always handing out alms to those who asked, donating to the various organizations that worked in the slums. Admirable work, one might say. But apparently, it would seem that he was using these charitable outings to quietly find the occasional destitute loner that no one would miss. And of course, when Boris Brewster, the philanthropic millionaire, offered them free room and board in the Remington, under the sole condition that they told no one where they were going. They jumped at the chance.
Clever method of hunting.
Indeed. He would, of course, tell his victims, according to his confessions anyway, he would tell his victims that he wanted to prevent jealousy, outrage, perhaps even other people down on their luck attacking for his kindness. But then it was just a way to cover his tracks. It would seem that when he bought the Remington, he was a bit of a aficionado, I guess one might say, of Mudgett Holmes. H. Holmes, I believe he was known by most popularly. And taking inspiration from Holmes, Brewster had massive renovations performed on the Remington. There were hidden passages, secret doors, and a basement chamber, thick enough walls to prevent anyone from hearing screams, and multiple drainage pipes that would lead the liquid remnants of his hobby out into the sewers. So I'm certain it's fine. There's probably nothing wrong with the place. I just would like you to go and take a look. Make sure there's nothing unmanageable happening there. It has been abandoned for a while.
Is it known whether any of the other families have shown interest in the past?
Not that it was, no. I actually purchased it knowing that this was coming up and knowing that Delilah had fond memories of it. I wanted to surprise her. It had been laying deep, destitute. Now that you mention it, I don't think any of the other families had been near it at all.
At all?
No.
That's a place like that. You'd think at least some of the different families of the hungry would be interested in it.
Yes, I mean it's got its allures and such, but for some reason it sort of slipped under the radar. It seems to have anyway. I could be wrong. Again, I have not looked directly into it. I acquired it. I did enough research to realize that there was going to be a problem that was going to require hands-on expertise to address, and I called you because I don't have time to clean up what I'm certain has water damage. There's probably raccoons living in things. I'm certain that it's a downright mess. And there may or may not be, ghosts and liminalities in the building. So I would just like it in a manageable state by the weekend.
We can certainly take a look.
Glorious.
See
Is there anything
what we can do?
Is there anything that you need from me before you do?
Well, I would just like to ask. I don't want to be crass about it, but what's in it for us for helping? I mean, obviously, Evelyn has her own obligations to the family, but would just like to clear up front.
I think Evelyn actually looks kind of proud at that.
She
if nothing else, Cece is going to make you look very good in front of your boss or superior, however this arrangement actually goes. Just for the record.
Works for me.
A bit and says, my request is for Evelyn's assistance. Her crew comes along because that's what you children tend to do. travel in packs. Whatever she wishes to do to assist you or to compensate you for your time is up to her. I don't feel compelled to busy myself with such matters. Is there something you want?
That's a good question. I feel like what Cease is probably like angling towards is like she has some other deal going on that would go a lot smoother if she could get something from the heirs, and if she doesn't ask Evelyn, then it's not like she's not gonna like put pressure on their friendship. I'm not sure exactly what that would be in the context of this world.
Sure.
What the heirs might be able to do.
Well, these particular heirs have money, influence, a remarkable ability to make people go away. And Vanessa in particular has a reputation for generating a great deal of pain and being a very, very formidable opponent. If she sets her mind on finding a person, it is unheard of for that person to not be found.
I think Evelyn has an idea. So I think she'll kind of put that forward. She'll ask, out of curiosity, along these lines, what are your plans for the building after this event?
I haven't given it much thought.
Well, maybe if we do this, and I'm not saying give us the building, but what I'm saying is perhaps you could let us work with you, develop that place into something else.
Oh, sweetie, if you want the building when it's all after I don't give a damn what happens to it after the party. Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome to keep it once we're done with the party.
We should take the building.
I'm happy with that.
Does that satisfy your concerns, Cece?
Like, you can tell by her face, she does not feel like she feels like she should be pushing harder, but she's trying to read the like Evelyn Vanessa vibes. She's like, okay, maybe not this time, but I am going to keep track of every resource I put into this and get very naggy about what percentage of the building I own in the end. Although if it's full of raccoons, I don't know. That might just be
I can deal with the raccoons.
I feel like if it's a raccoon haven, there's an excellent chance that this is just gonna be like your hotel, Charlotte.
That's great for me.
At that moment, you hear a sound as if someone poured a 5-gallon bucket filled with some sort of viscous fluid and raw hamburger onto a large tarp.
I don't think that was good.
And Vanessa says, "Oh, I think he's awake again. So if you don't mind, I'm going to get back to work."
Of course.
We'll let you deal with the leak.
Call me if there's any, difficulties.
Of course.
Turns and walks
so I have
back over
one
the kitchen.
question.
Sure.
We know where this place is.
Do you know where it is? Yes, absolutely.
It seems so. The idea that no one has looked at it that doesn't pass the smell test. Somebody has got to have looked at this place, whether they knew what they were looking at or not. And so I would like to float to the crew, like, we should find someone.
Oh, absolutely.
Who's been there or been around there.
Yeah.
Fully intends to make use of some of his contacts to do that.
All right.
Do we have any potential familiarity with like ways that curses could deter people from engaging with a location?
Sure. There are a lot of liminalities that will drive people away. Not all of them. Some of them draw people in, but there are a lot of liminalities that will scare people off. There's also any number of accursed or outside or creatures from the outside could be residing there and driving people
Which is a thing we can suss out if we go down there ourselves, right? We have that capability.
Yes, you would be able to recognize the presence of a curse. You'd be able to recognize the presence of magic. You wouldn't necessarily be able to like walk in, sniff the air, and be like, "Oh, that's a X, Y, or Z."
Yeah. I'm
but
definitely thinking, this is what I'm thinking now. We pack up the dip, we pack up the beer. Han, you took your car, right? So we go drive down there and just kind of get an outside vibe. Because if it is giving us like repelling nature, magical nature, that's one thing. If we're not getting that, it's another thing. If we look at it and go, the structural integrity is the first problem, we're going to die if we go in there. I'll call my architect guy and we'll move from there.
okay.
I mean, that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
So did you? I know one of you had mentioned reaching out to some contacts. Did you want to do any sort of any of that? I guess before you head to the building.
Yes. Han is actually going to make use of the close family contact.
Sure. Okay.
Family in this instance, I have to presume, is 8 hands because it's mentor and supernatural.
Sure. Okay.
And the 8 hands are known for their ability to get secrets.
Yes. Absolutely.
So trying to tap them for, hey, what is known about this place? Why has it stood empty this long? Do we have some of ours squatting in there or no?
Excellent. So what I would like you to do is give me 8 dice. No curse die involved. How many dots do you have in the enhancement? Or I mean in the contact? Just a 1 dot contact, right? 2 dots. Excellent. So that would be and they have the supernatural tag. And what else was it?
Supernatural and mentor. I
Excellent.
don't know how mentor factors in per se, but
All right, so this will give you +2 enhancement. So you can be rolling 8 dice with an enhancement of 2.
okay. And an enhancement in this case is 2 hits.
Yes, so enhancements are hits that only apply if you get a physical hit on the dice.
Okay. Well, I have a 10.
Okay, so 10s count as 2.
I have, and it's 8 and up.
8 and up, correct.
That is unfortunately the only success.
That's okay because you have the 2 enhancements, so you're a total of 4 hits. Not too bad. So the way that works, because you're effective.
There is 2 plus another one.
So there's 1. So you're at a total of 5.
Yes.
Excellent. So the way this works, you call your contact. We're going to say your contact is a member of the 8 hands named Ember. Ember is creepy for an 8 hands.
Damn.
She
Some
tends
math
to
level of bullshit.
at her most normal, she gives you like Samara from The Ring vibes.
Woo.
On her good days.
Okay. It's just the kind of like lanky, gangly, stringy hair, nasty.
Yeah, she frequently looks like she has rolled around in a vat of Crisco recently. She doesn't seem to have a working relationship with things like showers and hygiene. But her apartment is a 3-dimensional conspiracy board.
Naturally.
There are things hanging on like clothespins among the strings that are drawn between the walls to connect the strings that are running on all the walls. She has completely graffitied the inside of her apartment and is perpetually chasing down 10 to 12 potential conspiracies. She will frequently hit you with, little factoids mid-conversation, like, You know that aglets are the plastic things on the end of your shoelaces, and their purposes are sinister. Just little things like that. So, bit of an odd duck, one might say. How would you like, or ask, what would you like to say when you get her on the horn? You call her out.
This is Han. And I imagine we have some kind of ridiculous, like, secret code of, hey, this is me. I am who I say I am. This is not some fibby coming to
Yeah, of course.
collect you.
The penguins are flying in from the east today. Yeah, exactly.
They rendezvous with the swallows at dawn.
She says, what do you have for me?
The Remington, the old Remington. Allegedly has been empty for a very long time.
Yes, yeah.
Why is that?
Been. There was a serial killer there a while ago.
But after that, why keep it empty?
For a while, people just didn't want to mess with a place with such a bad reputation, but it seems that a few accursed poked their head in there around the mid-70s. And it was a crew of 3. Only one made it out. And when they were found, they were catatonic for several days. Nearly lost control of themselves, nearly became a phantasm, nearly lost that which ties them to this world, to their mind. They said that the inside of the place was pain, that it was torment. And most importantly, it was apathy at it. It was chewing on their will to live. Now, to me, that sounds like a possible shattered space.
That'd be a doozy of one. Ooh.
Would merit some investigation, but I don't think I should go.
No. You've got too many projects of your own to deal with. But if I happen to hear something about what's happening in there, maybe I'll share.
Did you know that the Girl Scouts of America are teaching people Latin as an avenue to the occult?
I did not know that, but it makes sense. How else do they read those tomes?
If you go into the Remington, bring hope with you.
Oh.
I gotta go. Bye.
Because that's not ominous.
What are the chances Hope is your really big, tough friend?
Consider hope is a currency.
Huh.
Which families have an abundance of the stuff?
Of hope?
Hope.
I feel like most of us would make that argument, but let's all just be a little honest here.
Hope in the sense of, like, a will to live as, like, a vibrancy, not necessarily as literally hope.
I was going to say, have you met other accursed?
Honestly, the most, and this is actually probably a bit telling, given the nature of what Ember just told you. though accursed can sort of be all over the map in terms of verb and joie de vivre, the dead tend to be the most the most hopeful. The dead tend to be the most boisterous. The dead tend to be the most vibrant because that's what they crave. That's what they try to instill in others.
There's a certain irony in that.
You have to do something to feel something if you can't feel anything.
Precisely. Is there anything else you would like to do before you head to the Remington?
Is it the wardens that are notorious for that?
They are so creepy, though.
We're all creepy.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Those are the ones that are like a
you
cult,
just said, your
aren't
friend
they?
is, some of us are a little creepier than others.
It is a spectrum, yeah.
If they're who we need, then they're who we need. I'm practical. I'm just saying, not interested in their weird cult.
So we're bringing a dead person to a place that had a lot of people murdered.
Potentially. At the
You
very
know, if there are any...
I'd like to pick one of their brains. So
I could also see if I could find a Gaki, one of the hungry.
Gaki
They
source.
might be helpful in the ghost department.
They're handy when
If there are
comes to
ghosts.
dead.
But yeah, I wouldn't recommend bringing both along together.
No, if the Gaki gets peckish.
It's like keeping a snack on hand.
And if we bring a warden and said Gaki is stronger than them, then we don't have to deal with the cult.
Always look on the bright side. Yep. You can certainly try to reach out to other accursed.
Why don't we follow up on the dead?
Oh, sorry.
I was just saying, why don't we follow up on the dead angle?
Are we doing these calls in Han's car as we're heading over? Are we going to do all of this and then head over? Because I still maintain we should head over and see what we're actually looking.
Oh yeah.
First
We
call.
can do it while we're moving.
Yeah.
In
Alright,
fact,
so-
I think if we're taking Han's car, then Evelyn will just, message her driver, head back.
Okay.
Stay on call, but head back.
And it's
Follow behind in case they get sick of these weirdos.
I'd like it noted that the car that pulls up to collect us is different than the car that brought us here. Different license plate, slightly different color, different model.
Of course.
But we're all carpooling together, so that's good.
The journey's not far. The Remington's a few blocks from the Congress. So by the time you've gotten off the phone with Ember, you're basically there.
Okay. Did anyone else want to make any calls on the way?
I think I'm all right.
Okay.
I'd like to be targeted in my reach outs. I don't want to burn a favor. Turn out we don't need them.
That's fair.
Let's just get into the guts of the thing.
As you pull up, are you going to have your driver wait, or are you going to have your driver sort of drop you off and go?
Drop us off and go.
Right.
You change the group chat name to All Final Girls.
I would like each of you, as you pull up to the place, first of all, you absolutely immediately feel the presence of of curses for certain, but of a liminality, of a space that is bordering between worlds, between here and the outside.
Oh.
Ooh, what I would give to unravel that web.
Good
You
luck.
can
Put a
eat-
hand in front of Han, like, no, now, buddy.
You can each roll your I would say esoterica, or I would allow empathy, And one of you is you have an affinity for plants. Is that correct? It's Charlotte. Is that
Yes.
and
Plant.
what skill have you tied that to? Like, what skill do you see that manifesting through?
I mean, there's the medicine skill, which is what the inheritance ties into.
All right. Excellent. Yeah, let's do medicine.
Is it possible to apply enigmas to this, or just esoterica?
I would allow enigmas. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And
And should I
you
do both? Go ahead.
I'm still learning. I take for the number of dice I have for empathy. Am I grabbing the curse dice at the same time, or
Yes. So you will.
So those two of
Curse
those.
dice will always replace your dice pool dice.
okay?
So once you've selected the skill that you want to lean on, so you have enigmas, we have empathy, we have esoterica, we have medicine. Those are kind of our options at the moment. I would say you may also use culture.
Okay.
I would say this is going to be a mental challenge. So cunning is most likely in terms of just like spotting things and fast thinking. But if you would like to, if you prefer to lean on intellect, you may do so. You can lean on resolve, but that means you're going to have to take extra time to look around. And
Okay.
I'm not sure what sort of a hurry folks are.
Is this relating to identifying or cure in attempts to identify, cure, and craft poisons and diseases? Is this anything relating to poisons and diseases?
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
Good to know. I have a -1 to the difficulty then.
Excellent. Beautiful. So you're going to want to make sure, again, that you replace 2 of your dice from your pool, because you'll have 2 curse dice right now. And those have to be rolled as curse dice, because the curse is definitely applying in this. Aaron, you've rolled. What did you wind up with?
I was just checking. So I have 3 that are big, and 1 is a 10. That one is my curse die.
Excellent. So you have gotten what is called a wicked success.
Woohoo!
So your total, so that was a 10, so that's 2. And then you got 2 others on the regular dice, correct?
Yeah.
And what was your other curse die?
A 4.
Excellent. Beautiful.
Yikes. All right, only 1 success.
I got 2 successes myself.
The successes are 8+.
8 and above. Yep. And 10s count as 2.
Okay. So then I got 4, one of those being a 10 dice, a 10 that was the curse die.
Wonderful. Those of you who got 10s on your curse dice, those of you who got wicked successes, you look at the structure of the building. You immediately spot that there is black mold that seems to be almost creeping along. It looks almost like a veinous structure. You immediately become aware of this as being almost like a vector for this liminality. Like the crack between the physical world and the outside is almost riding along these veins of mold. So Cece and Evelyn, you're the 2 that got the wicked successes.
Oh no,
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Oh,
got
Cece
it.
and Charlotte, I apologize. Cece and Charlotte, you got the wicked successes. So the 2 of you, please do make a note that the next spell that targets you increases its difficulty by a +1. And you may spend additional hits out of your roll to increase that difficulty. However, that spell will be affected by this sort of bubble in the curse, whether you want the spell to work or not. So literally the next spell that affects you is going to be more difficult.
Okay.
Do you want to spend any more hits beyond one on that, Charlotte?
I'm trying to remember all the different ways to spend hits on this.
So you can also spend hits for more information. You can use curse tricks as well.
Yeah, I've also got some edges that relate to like logic and investigation and stuff like that.
Okay.
So let me hop over to those to find the nuances there again.
Sure. While you're doing that, did you want to spend any additional hits on the and buffing up your magical protection in the next spell, or did you just want to?
I also have this is all new to me. I don't know what I can spend it on, so I'm inclined to just say, yes, let's do it. Because you're offering it to me.
Sure. Well, some of the other things you can do with the curse dice are one that comes in handy here is there's the otherworldly sense. Costs 1 hit. You may apply this trick to any investigation action, which is what you're both doing.
Okay.
When you buy the trick, you gain additional evidence with the accursed tag. If there's nothing supernatural to detect, then the story guide will tell you and refund you the hit. So basically, you get another flash of insight into the supernatural nature of this. Another option would be spending it on reaching. You may apply this trick to any appropriate attack or investigation action. You extend the range of the action by 1 range band, basically extending your senses, seeing or hearing further than you normally would, things along those lines. So you both have one. Basically, the cruel success or the wicked success gives you that +1, doesn't cost you anything. You both have 2 hits on the curse die. Right, so you can spend those for either of those tricks. You also do have the area wouldn't apply to this, fast friends wouldn't apply to this, and glad handing wouldn't apply to this because you're not trying to influence anyone. So you can do otherworldly sense and reaching if you wanted to,
okay.
Or you could spend those hits from the curse dice specifically on buffing up that magic resistance.
So the one I wanted to check on for my edges, this is not a research-based investigation action. This is just an investigation action.
Correct. Yeah, this is literally just sort of senses-based. You're just looking around.
Okay, so don't have anything on that. I'll poke at the supernatural senses for one of those hits.
The otherworldly sense. Excellent. Let me just check one thing.
Can I just say I love that Charlotte and Cece got this because it's mold, which is plant adjacent, and it's architectural, which is door adjacent.
Doors and
Into our
plants.
skills.
You've got this.
I'm suddenly thinking like maybe my fixer thing should be more in like real estate, kind of literal fixing because that goes with doors.
That is fair.
So maybe not.
So,
not real estate.
what you gather from this mystical sense, not only do you spot that this mold seems to have almost like a tear toward the outside, following its pattern, following its path, but you also discover that there's almost like a pulsing sense of despair and agony, effectively like screaming out from this mold. Like this mold is beckoning you in and beckoning those within its influence to suffer.
So you see it too, right? CC the the mold.
Oh, I see it.
And did you, Cece, want to spend for any of those curse tricks?
I feel like I would, in character, I would want more information, so I would do that.
Okay.
But if I'm just going to hear the same thing as Charlotte, I don't know if that was
No.
advantageous.
Not at all. In fact, what you get is you come to understand that there are other entities within that network. This isn't just a passive thing. Something's caught in there. You can sense there are other accursed, possibly, or at the very least, supernatural sentient beings trapped within that network. You can feel almost their despair pulsing along the veins, and almost as if it's being delivered like a circulatory system would deliver oxygen.
Mm-hmm. Does this feel like perhaps the source of the happy gap I found in the corner shop?
It could be. It certainly does seem to want to spread. And that is something that both of you, that all of you with one of your investigation hits would be able to discern. This thing is actively spreading. It's not moving so fast that you're seeing it in front of you, but it's very clear just looking at the outside wall. Like you can see like, oh, this bit is only a couple weeks old, but down here closer to the ground is a couple months old. So this mold is actively growing right now.
This is not a thing we can walk away from.
Yep. And so with the number of, and just remind me, Cece got 4 hits. Charlotte, how many hits did you get in total?
I got 4 hits, and then I also have the -1 to the difficulty.
-1 difficulty. Okay. And then how many hits did Evelyn get? 2. And then how many hits was it for Han?
Han only got the 1.
Okay. So yeah, aside from just spotting the mold, Han and Evelyn don't see much else. Cece, you have 1 more hit you can spend. You can use that to ask a question. You can bank that for enhancement on a future roll, or you can spend that hit to kick up your magical resistance. The same goes for Charlotte, but you have 2 hits that you can do that with.
Okay. I guess my question would be, does it seem like the despair is what's feeding the mold growing?
They seem intertwined with one another at the very least. There's definitely a relationship between the 2 of them.
Okay.
I'm curious if it's possible to tell anything about the entities that are entangled in this with an eye toward what's the point. Because I think being in League of the Crossroads, there's very much a directional mindset. Like, why would someone make this?
Sure. You're able to, if you are you willing to spend the
yeah, I'll spend the other
the last hit. All right. You're not able to determine specifically what's keeping them there, other than the fact that they seem to be caught in this liminality, as if like once they're under its influence, they can't just walk away. But you can tell that they are definitely experiencing despair. You're going to have to actually get in close enough to interact with them to figure out like what that means necessarily.
I was
But you-
I was asking, can I tell who? Like you said, it's some kind of supernatural entity. Can I tell who? Like what kind? Like, is this a bunch of vampires, or
They're-
did someone trap an eldritch god in this house?
You're
how
fairly
challenging.
certain that there are multiple dead.
Okay.
In fact, I'll go one further. You're fairly certain that they are not what you would refer to as cogent dead. There is a type of creature, basically commonly referred to as a phantasm. Phantasms are what happen when the sentience and free will of a dead is eroded. So they're
Gaki, yeah.
Yeah, they're basically what the Gaki eat. So you're fairly certain that there are at least 3 phantasms bopping around in there, if not more.
Okay. They're not what's trapped, or that's what's trapped.
You think that's what's trapped. At least 3
Okay.
of them.
Okay. Good. Turn and relate this to the crew. That the mold is full of despair. It's expanding. There's multiple phantasms caught. Also, guys, this looks like a teardown. I don't know if we got the best deal, but we have to do something.
I don't know. I think we could make it work, but I have a theory. So, your relative's name is Vanessa, right? Or is that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Vanessa is the
Vanessa, yes.
Okay.
the air elder.
So Vanessa mentioned the whole thing about like Morris Brewster, and he lured people in, and then they died horribly here. That was probably source of a lot of despair and torment and suffering. So I'm thinking that like that is also this.
My
Dead.
Very plausible.
Why now is it so potent?
I mean,
That's
it
a
might
good
have just had
question.
time to grow. If no one's been
finally
in
it's
here
like-
since it shut down.
That's fair. It could be growing very, very slowly, but it is growing.
Or it lures in curses. Sorry, the accursed. Those 3 that went in, 1 came out fine-ish. The other 2 did not.
It might be
But
the
What
were
happened to
found and pulled out. Someone has to know about that.
I think. Do you think you could find them?
The third person did, as far as you know, survive.
I think I would like to find them.
Excellent.
Okay.
That sounds like a. So go ahead.
While you're doing that, I'm wondering if I can get like a sample of the mold to like look at while you're doing that.
Oh, please do. Please do. If you could do it, please do.
Great.
All right.
Yeah, Charlotte's gonna try to get a mold sample.
Excellent. I would like you to go ahead and give me. We'll do medicine. That's what, and dexterity.
Okay.
This is going to be a. You definitely going to incorporate your curse dice, and
Yeah.
you're going to need to. Let's see.
Would this be one of those situations where my inheritance would come into play as well?
What's your inheritance?
It's to attempts to identify, cure, and craft poisons and diseases. So I'm trying to take this as a sample.
It will come into play, yes. So your difficulty would be 2. This will bring it down to 1. You will need to overcome a moderate complication as the mold responds.
Oh.
Oh, goody.
Okay. That sounds fun and fantastic.
So effectively, you need 1 success to get or 1 hit, I should say, to get the sample, and then another 2 to get the sample without having a consequence.
I don't want
Now, I will note before you read those dice, you do have a currency called momentum. You start with a momentum pool equal to the number of players in the group. You may spend momentum to get enhancement on a roll. You spend up to half the momentum pool at any given moment, as long as the group consents to that. Would you like to spend any momentum on this roll?
I'm sorry to say I did see my roll, and no, I'm fine.
Fair enough. What'd you get?
Fair.
I got 2 10s. One of them is my curse die. Is a curse die. And then an 8, so another hit. So that should be 5 hits?
5 hits with a wicked success. Yeah, absolutely. So you reach down and you scoop some of this mold off of the wall. You realize as you're pulling it away that it's resisting you. Not even like in a sense of like it's really just in there. Like it feels like it's pulling against you. And in fact, you are hit. Your head sort of fills with visions. You can see that it's hungry. You can see that it wants the ground beneath you to open up and swallow you, but your curse just won't let it happen. You can see that it needs you to suffer. It needs your pain. And you can start to feel other bits of despair in flashes going through you. You see a guy, looks like he's maybe in his 30s, wearing a baseball cap. He's walking through a hallway, and he's carrying a what looks like maybe a stuffed animal in one hand. The stuffed animal is very filthy, and he's just sort of stumbling back and forth, weeping to himself. You see a woman dressed in attire that looks like it's probably out of 1940, floating on her, laying on her back 5 feet above the ground in a completely sealed cement chamber that has only 2 secret doors that lead in or out. And as she's floating there glowing, you see her rip open as her viscera sort of runs down the outside of her body into these drains on the floor. And then it drips just past the threshold of the drains and then slurps back into her form, basically like spaghetti, resealing the wound as she floats back to her feet. And then she floats again onto her back, begins screaming. The process repeats. And you hear a voice inside your mind that says, "Charlotte, come in. We're here. We're waiting for you." And I think that's where we'll park the car for tonight. What do you say?
Seems like a good spot. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns about tonight's game?
No, I had fun.
This was a good way to get feet wet.
Wonderful. Glad you enjoyed it. I had a blast. Normally we would do like XP and all that jazz, but really we're only going to be playing one additional session. So what I will do is if any of you feel Did any of you accomplish any of your aspirations?
No.
Sorry about that.
Sort of. I
I
made
said that
progress
deal
towards
was
one. I don't
fine,
know if
and
I
I didn't
accomplished
agree
it.
with that feeling. Is that a lie? I don't think that counts as a lie, really.
Probably not. Yeah, probably not quite counting as a lie. Yeah. That's all right. Next time.
While I hunted information, I don't think that's the kind of hunting that is
Yeah.
being asked of.
Charlotte wanted to claim the building once it's done. I don't know if we need to have acquired it for that goal to have been achieved,
Yeah,
or just being like, "Hey, this is ours."
Yeah, you'll need to acquire it. It is.
Okay.
It's absolutely not yours 2 times over. It's currently in Vanessa's legal possession, and clearly that mold has control of the joint at the moment.
Yeah.
If you can, we could argue squatters' rights for the phantasms, except I don't think they can
I don't think they
actually
really want to live there.
stand incompetence. So
Yeah.
also, it doesn't get you the building. I'm just being pedantic.
But there's time. Perhaps at the next session, you'll be able to claim the building, tell your lies, free the phantasms, and achieve your goals. We'll see. We will
We'll see.
return. We will return here a week's hence and button things up. Thank you all so much for being here. Once again, I do just want to remind you that the Curseborne Player's Guide is currently on Kickstarter. Please consider heading over there. I believe the link will probably show up in the chat while I'm speaking. And back it. If you've already backed it, thank you so much. Please tell your friends to do the same. And once again, I just want to extend my thanks to the Dungeon Scrawlers for letting me come here and get a little spooky. This has been a blast, and I am very much looking forward to next week's session.
Me too. Definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye.